And we are going back up to Stu up in Skyfox. He does have a look and an update on the Eaton Fire.
Well, that Eaton Fire is making its way up to the top of Mount Wilson. And what is at the top of Mount Wilson? Well, there are the repeaters up there. If folks don't know what we're talking about, those are the antennas. And a lot of those antennas are actually bringing in pictures from Skyfox right now. But they're also repeaters. They do cell phone towers. They do first responders radios. They basically keep a lot of the communications in the Los Angeles area working and online. Right now, those flames getting very, very close to those towers. Now, if the towers themselves, they probably could withstand a little bit of that heat and some of that fire, but what's going on is there's actual buildings and electronics near the bottom of those towers, and if those start to burn, the power is going to go out. We might start losing some communication communications with a lot of the folks that we need for the first responders. Sheriff's Department, LA City Fire, LA County Fire, they all use repeaters up here along with television stations and other, I'm going to say, less essentials. But right now, those flames, you can see them getting very, very close. Now, the fire department, of course, they know about it. They're up here as well. They're working to keep those towers and those buildings safe. But you got an idea how close they're getting right now. Those flames climbing up Mount Wilson, almost to the very top. Also, the highest peak in Los Angeles. Now, this is all from the Eaton Fire. The Eaton Fire started down in the Altadena area. That's going to be way down over here. We actually made our way over here to see if we could see some of the damage underneath the smoke. But by the time we got here, those flames getting very, very close to those repeaters. Right now, that seems to be the priority. Fire department working to get those flames in check before they get over there and start doing damage to those antennas. I'm Stu up at Skyfox. Back to you all in the studio.
This is a real nightmare situation for first responders. They were trying to protect those transponders and those repeaters. Yes. This is obviously a core hub of communication that so many people rely on, and they were hopeful that the fire wasn't going to reach these transmitters, Stu, but clearly now they look like in jeopardy, and in fact they were having a protected line around these transmitters for quite some time. They scaled down to a skeletal staff up there in Mount Wilson because obviously they need to staff these positions, but now it's quite a threat.
It is most definitely a threat, and it is very serious. We're trying to see, when I push in like that, I'm just wondering if we can see something down there. I know there is one aircraft nearby, but I don't know if they're doing water drops or how they're trying to control it. There's also a small village up here as well. There's a restaurant and some other stuff, and of course you've got the observatories. All that right now in peril. I'm not sure about that, but these repeaters right here, that's definitely a serious situation. Those flames, this isn't the camera kind of looking at an angle. They're getting very, very close to that group of repeaters right there. And there, again, there's buildings at the bottom of them. I'm trying to show you maybe one of them and get an idea how close those flames are. But that's the problem. If any of those buildings get damaged, those repeaters will go down. Communications will become a problem. Of course, they have backups and alternates. But this is one of the main ones that we use out here in Los Angeles. And of course, if they have a problem here, it's going to ripple effect throughout all of Los Angeles and the smaller communities nearby.
I don't know if you touched on this yet, Stu, but what's the response that you're seeing out there from firefighters?
Well, we know they're down there. That's the thing. I'm actually trying to see if we can find somebody or maybe an aircraft maybe doing a drop out here. We have yet to see them. But, of course, they are up here, and, you know, they are busy. They have all of that Altadena to deal with down low, and, of spread thin out in the Palisades as well. But we do see a lot of open fire out here, and we do see it making their way closer to these buildings. And that's another thing, too. A lot of these buildings, these are all county-owned, and they're businesses, so they do take advantage of all of that brush clearance and that safety net that's around all those buildings. So maybe if the flames get close, they might not actually get to those buildings. But it is still definitely a scary situation and worrisome situation for any of the first responders. If they lose any of these repeaters up here, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, first responders have their towers up there. We have our towers up there, I believe. That's a lot of TV stations do as well. It could be a big problem if those towers are impacted, for sure.
Definitely, and you know, the flames seem to be kind of, and it might be because of the brush clearance in the area. Now that we're getting up higher and closer to it, there's also a TFR out here, so we can't just go right up to the repeaters and take a look. It does kind of look like they are. It's not right up to the antennas. Some of them are. Some of it is very, very close, but in this position right there, that fire, that smoke is actually going to be west of those major towers. But as we move a little bit more over here, you can really see it. That smoke coming very, very close to those buildings up there, and where there's smoke, there's fire. So we're going to keep an eye on it for sure, looking to see if we can see any of the fire trucks out here. But these flames definitely made their way to the top of Mount Wilson right now, and this is from the Eaton Fire. That started down in the Altadena area.
Oh boy, all right, let's hope that they don't get really any closer to those towers. But thank you for that perspective, Stu. Certainly a situation we're going to be keeping a very close eye on all throughout the day.